So good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be using quite a few props. We're going to need 2 blocks or 2 rolled up towels. Have blocks. A large blanket or yoga blanket and a towel in addition, and then a chair. So to begin, we're not going to need our chair right away. You can just put it to the side. And let's just set up our props. We're not going to use our blanket and towel till Shavasana, but we'll just set it up right now. So take your yoga blanket or your comforter, maybe some sort of big blanket, and you're going to want to roll it up. We're going to use this as a bolster. This is going to be our yoga bolster. And then our towel, you're going to fold it hot dog style, then hamburger style. And then you're just going to roll the long end. So long end roll. There you go. And you'll take your long roll and just lay it over your bolster. Let's put that aside. And we'll start on our backs. And just take a moment to check in with yourself once you arrive. You can come into constructive rest with your feet wide, knees together if you like that, or maybe you just want to lay down flat. What feels nice for you this morning as you take a few deep breaths? And become mindfully aware of points of your body that are touching the floor. And allow yourself to surrender a little bit more into the earth. And we'll begin our practice today with 3 ohms. And so ohm is 3 different actually syllables, a, o, and m. And as you say the ohm, see if you can really cycle through those 3 syllables and feel the different areas of the body you can allow each note to hit in. To prepare, exhale. Inhale. Bend your knees and place your feet on the floor if they're not already. Gently draw your right knee into your chest, holding onto the right knee or shin with both hands. And straighten both elbows as you inhale. As you exhale, bend the elbows, drawing right thigh closer to the chest. And as you inhale, straighten both elbows. Exhale, drawing knee into chest. Nice and gentle. This doesn't have to be a huge movement. Inhale, straightening elbows. Try to keep your back flat on the mat as you exhale, gently drawing thigh to chest. Inhaling, straightening elbows. Last time, on your own. And then with an exhale, draw left knee into chest. We'll switch both hands to the left knee, release right foot to the mat. Exhaling, left thigh into chest. Inhaling, straightening elbows. Keep moving like this with your breath. And of course, if the knee feels far away, you're always welcome to use a strap for this. Keep moving to the rhythm of your breath and watch that the pelvis doesn't curl up as you gently draw the thigh to the chest. We're just isolating this movement in the hip. Let the leg be soft. Let's do about 2 more rounds of this. And then release left foot to the mat. Arms alongside the body, preparing to move in and out of bridge. With an inhale, lift the hips, sweep your arms up, and then back behind you to the floor. Keep your gaze to the ceiling, and as you exhale, hips come to the mat, arms back alongside the body. We're just going to move in and out of this posture, gazing at the ceiling the entire time. Chin can be to chest. That's where you get a little stretch in the back of the neck. Let's do that once more. And then pause with the arms back behind you, hips lifted, chin to chest. Pause here for 3 breaths. Drawing inner thighs towards each other, all 4 corners of the feet to the mat. Now, on the exhale, lower your right arm and your hips to the floor. Turn your head to the right. Pause here, feeling the stretch in the left side of the neck, maybe the top of the left shoulder. The head's turning away from the arm that's behind you. Now straighten your right leg long on the mat, and then let the left knee swing open into a tree pose. Keep the head turning right, and do your best to let your weight surrender to the mat. Hollow belly. The legs can be soft, the body can be soft here. Take one more slow round of breath. And then when the exhale arrives, left knee comes up, gaze to the ceiling, draw right knee into chest. Bring the hands behind the right thigh and extend the right heel to the ceiling. Flex the foot. We're stretching the back of the right leg. One more breath. Return the right foot to the floor. Let's lift the hips again into bridge pose, chin to chest. Lift the arms up and back behind you. Pause here for 3 breaths. Chin to chest. And after your 3rd round of breath, you'll return your hips to the mat, and this time bring left arm alongside the body as you turn your head to the left. Right arm heavy on the floor behind you. And if it doesn't make it to the floor behind you, maybe you swing your right arm out to the right a little bit until some part of your arm or hand can be supported by the floor. Taking one more round of breath, enjoying the stretch in the neck. And now straighten your left leg long on the mat, and we'll come into tree pose. Second side, right knee swings open. Just a real loose, soft pose. Soften your forehead, soften your jaw. One more round of breath. And the exhale swings that right knee to the ceiling. Look at the ceiling. Draw left knee into chest. Give it a hug. And then we'll stretch the back of the left leg. Extend your left heel towards the ceiling, pressing the back of the thigh into your hands. And of course, if this isn't accessible, you might just use a rope or a towel to hold that leg up. Toes peel towards the face as you extend and reach that heel. One last breath. And then draw both knees into chest, rock a little side to side. And then roll to one side and come on up. Next, we're going to be using our chair. So locate your chair, and you'll also be using your blocks. Okay. I have the block between my thighs on its thinnest setting. Extend it so it's on its thinnest setting, and it's like the long edges are parallel to the floor. Walk your feet forward and sit on the edge of your chair until your legs are on a right angle. We're going to be using our legs as we do this. So squeeze the block gently and then bring the backs of both hands to your low back. Exhale completely. Broaden your chest. And then inhale, sweep your right arm up overhead. Reach, reach, reach. On the exhale, turn your head left as you swing your right arm wide, and then return the back of the hand, right hand, to the low back as you bring right side of the face to your block or towards your block. On the inhale, left arm rainbows out to the left, reaching the left arm up overhead, get long. And then exhale, left arm swings wide, head turns right, back of the left hand to the low back. So we're stretching the neck. Inhale, reach right arm out and up, overhead. Exhale, head turns left, back of right hand to sacrum. Inhale, sweep left arm up overhead, coming up, looking forward, and then exhale, head turns right, left cheek to or towards the block. Keep moving with your breath. Things to consider as you do this. Try to keep your chest as broad as possible. We're drawing the shoulder blades together behind us. Each time an arm is overhead and you're sitting up, you're looking forward. Each time an arm swings out, your head turns away from that arm. Gently holding the block with the legs. All four corners of the feet press into the floor. Let's do this twice more on each side to the rhythm of your breath. And whenever you've finished, you'll reach both arms up overhead. Reach, reach, reach. Big morning stretch. And then exhale, fold forward. You can remove your block and bring your hands to either side of the feet. So right hand, right of the feet, left hand, left. Let your back round, your head drop. Of course, some of you, if you have neck sensitivities, maybe keeping the head lifted is a better choice. Feel into it. Let's take 2 more breaths into the low back as you press your feet into the floor. And then take an inhale to bring yourself up to a seat. Little cat-cow here. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, broaden the chest, back bend. Few more rounds like this. And of course, you're always welcome if you feel like you want to kind of freestyle it. Maybe you want to circle the ribs, moving the spine in any way that feels good this morning for you. About 1 more round of breath. And then coming to a regular seat. Okay, so coming into mountain pose for a few breaths. Feet under hips, heart over pelvis, head over heart. Exhale completely. Inhale, reach the arms up, get really tall. Like a morning stretch. And then on an exhale, fold forward nice and slow. Let the knees bend as much as you need. And of course, there's a block nearby if you need to rest your fingertips to the block. Letting the head go, gazing between the legs. And then just shifting the weight a little bit to the right foot and then to the left foot. And a little bit towards the heels. And a little bit towards the toes. And then back to the heels. Keep the knees bent. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head's the last thing to come up. And once you're standing, you can straighten out the legs. Okay. We're going to be moving up and down with the rhythm of the breath. And if you have a really sensitive back and you know that coming up and down, or maybe you have some problems with feeling dizzy, please feel free to just hang out in this stretch, maybe in a forward fold again, or go very slow, a couple breaths in each being up, a couple breaths being down. I do encourage you to have a block on either side of your feet. And you can start with it on its lowest setting, and you're always welcome to bring it up to a higher setting if you need it. And this is similar, what we're going to do is similar to what we did earlier in the chair, where we're doing one arm and coming down. So bring both hands back behind you, backs of the hands to the low back, and then draw your shoulder blades together, draw your tummy in. On an inhale, sweep your right arm up overhead. Get as tall as you can, pressing the feet down into the floor. And then on an exhale, you're going to sweep the arm out to the right and then towards the block and rest the fingertips on the block. Of course, you don't need a block. That's okay. Stay here. Keep your chin to your chest. But with the inhale, flatten your upper back. And then on an exhale, let your back round again. Let your head hang. When the inhale arrives, knees stay slightly bent. Sweep your right arm out to the right and then up overhead. Okay, so that was one. We're going to do 4 of those. Same side. Exhale, folding. Right hand to the right side of the foot. Let the head go. When the inhale arrives, stay folded, but flatten your upper back. So the chest will probably lift a little bit, chin drawing in. On the exhale, let the head drop around the spine. Knees are slightly bent. And then the inhale, come on up. Take your time. Twice more. Exhales the fold. So important to slightly bend those knees. Inhale is lengthening your spine, flattening your upper back to the best of your ability. Exhale, release, soften towards the floor. When the inhale arrives, come on up, reach out, reach up. Last time on your own. Inhales the halfway. Exhales the release. And then we'll meet back standing. Arm overhead. Second side as you exhale. Right hand to the back. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Get tall. Exhale, sweep left arm out to the side. Fingertips to the left of the feet. Hang, fold. Inhale, flatten upper back. Chin in. Exhale, soften towards the floor. Inhale to come out and up. Reach up. That's one. Let's do two more. Holding on the exhale. Inhale to elongate the spine, particularly that upper back. Exhale to soften. So we're working on the muscles that can help us stand up tall. Speaking of standing up tall, the inhale brings us back up. Twice more. Exhales the fold. Inhale to lengthen. Keep the back of the neck long. Exhale to soften. Strong legs help you come up. Last one on your own. Take your time. We'll just meet with both arms up overhead. Lengthen your body. Get really, really long. And then palms come together in front of your heart. Get your blocks, kind of move them off the mat just so they're not going to cause you to stumble. And I thought we'd have a little bit of fun with balance here. A little bit of fun. So think about what we're doing here is we're just kind of inquiring about the hips and the legs. It doesn't matter if you're able to balance or not or how long, but it's just an exercise of balance and an inquiry of the hips and balance. So you're going to inhale your arms up overhead. Now options. Of course, if your arm, you have limited mobility, keep the arms out into a T, but you can have the arms overhead or the fingers interlaced and your index finger extended. I really like this. I feel like it helps me get long and it feels okay in my shoulders. So I'm going to demo that. And then take the feet about shoulder width distance apart. Draw your tummy in and lengthen your tail towards the floor. I want you to push into your left foot as you lift up the right. We'll do that a couple times, bringing the right foot down, push into left, lift up right. And then push into left, lift up right, and come into some variation of tree pose for 2 breaths. Right? You can always have the ball of the foot to the floor if you need, or the foot can be as far up the leg as you like. Just stay away from your precious knee. And then releasing arms alongside the body, mountain pose. Second side. Inhale, reach arms up. Find what you would like to do with your arms. And then feet as wide as shoulder width distance. And push into right, lift left. A few times. And the next time you do it, find a tree. Gazing at something on the horizon. Eye level. One more easy breath. And then exhale, release. So hopefully we've been able to experience a little bit more length in this spine. I'd like you to keep this length as we move into our next posture. We'll move back to our chair. And have a seat. From here, we're just going to roll onto our tailbone, lifting the front part of our pelvis, and then drop the front part of our pelvis, lift your tailbone. Rocking back and forth on the pelvis, and then settling in a place that feels neutral to you. I find that when I've experienced a neutral pelvis, I am able to better draw my tummy in, particularly my low tummy, and my low back feels nice and long. So finding that for yourself, low tummy drawing in, and then we're going to sit side saddle on our chair, coming into a lunge variation. So step the right foot back. Low belly's drawing back and up. And then left hand can hold on to the chair somewhere. Right glutes working. On an exhale, you're going to hinge at your hips, reach your right arm forward. You're folding over front leg. And then on the inhale, lift the chest, sit up, and sweep your right arm behind you as you look over left shoulder. So here's where the tummy drawing in, the neutral pelvis is going to help you. You're looking away from that arm. And then exhale, fold forward, reach that right arm forward, strong legs. Inhale, sit up, sweep arm away, look to the left. Let's do that twice more. Lengthening the tailbone towards the floor. Drawing right scapula towards the spine as you come up. And then we'll pause, stretching the neck, chest lifted, chin in as you lift the back of the skull skyward. Soft jaw, one more breath. And then regular seat in the chair. Okay, second side. Turning to the right, step the left foot back, and just take a moment, make sure your legs are arranged in a healthy position so all tootsies are pointing the same direction. We've got a right angle in our front leg. Tummy's in, lengthening the tailbone, neutral pelvis best you can. Exhale, fold and reach, press your front foot down. Inhale, sweep left arm back, lift chest, look to the right. 3 more times like that. To the rhythm of your breath. Really being curious about the movement of the spine, the strength of the legs, the broadness of the chest. And then after your fourth one, we'll pause. Lifted heart, strong glutes, chin slightly in as head comes back. Feel your breath. Last exhale. And then the inhale, come to a regular seat, facing forward. Okay. Just noticing the sensations that are arising in your body, your breath. Okay, so let's move the chair off the mat. I think we're going to be done with it for now. So you can just move it to the side. We're going to come onto our bellies. And rest your forehead on your stacked palms. Kick your feet wide and shimmy your hips, releasing the front of your pelvis into the earth. And then from here, keep your head where it is. Just walk your feet towards the back of your mat until your tummy feels a nice stretch. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. And I've said this in previous classes, if you tend to have a chronically tight back, this would be an excellent time to have a folded blanket underneath your tummy. That'll help the back from excessively going into a back bend, the low back. So go ahead and do that right now if you know that applies to you. And then really long in the spine, we're going to draw our tummies in. Keep your legs straight as you just lift your right leg. Right leg straight and long. Tailbone lengthening towards the heels. Lower the right leg. Let's do the left. And then lowering it. And we're going to do it again. And this time, less concerned about how high the leg gets, but more concerned about, is it straight and is my pelvis excessively rocking as I'm doing it? So draw your tummy in strong, lengthen your tailbone towards the heels, and then slowly lift the right leg. Maybe it's less, just so that you can maintain a level pelvis. So you're not rolling onto that right hip. And then lower right leg, lifting left. Go nice and slow. Watch for that pelvis. The tendency will probably be to roll onto your left hip. Feel your breath. And then lower the left leg. We're going to add the chest now. Walk the hands so that they're on either side of your chest, elbows hugging in, drawing shoulder blades back and down. Forehead to the mat. Exhale. Lift your chest and head as you lift just your right leg. Exhale, lower to the floor, right cheek to the mat. Inhale, left leg, lift head, chest, look at the top edge of your mat. Exhale, left cheek to the mat. Now this time we're going to inhale, lifting both legs, drawing shoulder blades back, lengthening your tailbone. Again, less about how high you're getting, more about lengthening your tailbone, strong core. And this is quite subtle. We're going to stay here for 1 or 2 more rounds of breath. I want you to roll your inner thighs towards the ceiling. Or maybe imagine that you're doing it. On the next exhale, lower to the floor. Bend the knees. You can once again support your head with the backs of the hands and then wag your feet side to side, windshield wipering. Let it go, loosen up. Right, and then we're going to just do a quick chest opener. For this, you will extend your right arm out to the right, have the wrist in line with shoulder, and then bend your right elbow so that now you're a half a goalpost. Spread your fingers wide, placing left hand underneath left shoulder, right cheek to the mat. Press your right arm, your right hand into the floor until your right shoulder blade slides to the spine and then down the back. And then from here, maybe you stay here, engaged in the right arm, right shoulder plugged into the body, or maybe you decide to up the ante and roll onto your right side, knees bent and stacked, head resting on the floor. We'll take 2 breaths. Press that palm into the mat. And then roll onto your back, second side. Left arm extends out to the left, wrist in line with shoulder to begin. And then bend the elbow, goal post. Press that left palm into the back until the left shoulder blade slides towards the spine and down. And I find like a pushing, kind of like I'm going to slide my hand forward, helps. And then maybe we stay here, left cheek to the mat. Maybe we roll onto the left side. Couple breaths. So we're letting sensation guide us in this posture rather than shape. So when I say shape, meaning like rather than like how far can I roll onto my left side. One more breath. And then roll onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest, right hand on right knee, left hand on left knee. Let your back flatten on the mat. And then with an exhale, bend your elbows, thighs move towards the chest. Inhale, straighten elbows. Exhale, flat back, hinging elbows to draw thighs into chest, hinging hips as well. Inhale, straightening elbows. Last one. And then release the feet to the mat. Locate your blocks. And you're going to bring a block to the left side of your mat. And you can bring it on its lowest setting, about a foot away from your hips. Extend your left leg long on the mat. And for this posture, you're going to stay, it's somewhat active. It's a bit of a, it's a stretching posture, but it's quite strong as well. You're going to sweep your arms into a T. So wrists in line with shoulders. On an exhale, draw right knee into chest. So just the right knee's coming in. And then on an inhale, pause here. Okay, and now on exhale, stack your hips as you swing your right knee to the left. On the inhale, right hip back to the mat, beginning position. That's one. We'll do 4 more of those, but we'll add a head turn. On the exhale, swinging right knee across the body, look to the right. Inhale, beginning position. Exhale, twist. Head turns away from the knee. Inhales to come out of it. The next exhale is to come into the twist. And now, oh, here's this block. It's right here ready for you. This is just an option. If you can bring your knee to the mat and it feels breathable and full of ease, do it. But if not, bring the inside of the knee to the block. Prop it up. Bring the block as high as you need to support yourself. And have your knee just a little bit lower than the hip, right? So we don't want it in line with the hip, want it slightly lower. Let the left hand rest on that right leg. And then exhale, head turns to the right again. I'll pause here. Left leg is straight and strong. The bottom leg, press it into the floor as you lengthen your pelvis away from your heart. And each time you inhale, an opportunity to stretch the intercostals, the muscles between the ribs. Each time you exhale, an opportunity to soften the face, the jaw. Okay, we're going to stay here. And as you inhale, you're going to gaze to the ceiling and sweep the right arm behind you, any amount that's available. On the exhale, sweep the right arm back out wide and look to the right. Inhale, right arm behind you, look to the ceiling. Exhale, right arm swings out, head turns right. One more time. And pause. On your next inhale, come on out of it. Right knee into chest. Apanasana variation, so the left leg stays long. And then we're going to move into reclined pigeon. Bend your left knee, left foot on the mat. Right ankle comes to the top of that thigh, figure 4 legs. And then drawing the legs in. So I've got my hands behind my left thigh. Some of you might enjoy hands on top of the shin, or grab a towel or a blanket to lengthen your arms if you need longer arms. The top foot is flexed. Release the back of the pelvis into the mat as you breathe deep. You can let your belly soften here. And for the next 2 breaths, each inhale, breathe into your low back. Okay, let's do all of that on the second side now. Untangle the legs. Extend your right leg long on the mat. Take your block, bring it to the right side of your mat, about a foot away from your hips. Arms to a T on the floor. On an exhale, swing the left leg across the body, left knee come into a twist as you stack your hips. On an inhale, beginning position, left hip comes back to the mat. Let's add the head turn. Exhale, twist, head turns left, right leg long and straight. Inhale, beginning position. Twice more on your own. And it's okay if that left knee doesn't make contact with anything. We're just kind of introducing this position into the body. On your fourth one, here we go. We're going to pause, and now we'll rest the inner knee on the block. So adjust the block so that the knee feels supported, bottom leg straight and strong, hips are stacked, right hand rests on that left thigh. Head is turning to the left. Let's take a few breaths here, pressing bottom leg actively into the floor as you lengthen your pelvis away from your heart. And in particular, what tends to happen here is that top hip creeps up towards the face. So lengthen the top hip away from your face very intentionally. Feeling the flow of the breath, particularly the inhale. Releasing the exhale. Keep the strength of the bottom leg as now we add on to this. Inhale, head through center, swing left arm behind you, overhead rather. Exhale, left arm swings out to the left, head turns left. Twice more. Inhale, look up to the ceiling. Exhale, head turns as left arm swings open. And then once again, pause in a twist, head turning away from the knee, strong legs. And then come back to the mat, left hip to the mat. Let's come into reclined pigeon. Left ankle on right thigh. Grab the bottom leg in some way to help increase the sensations of the stretch. Our top foot is flexed. Soft belly. Two more breaths. Now untangle the legs, both feet to the floor. Arms alongside the body. Let's do a bridge pose. Inhale, lift the hips, chin to chest. As you lift the hips, energetically drawing thighs towards each other. For this bridge, we're just going to have the arms alongside the body. Keep those hips lifted as you breathe and hold onto the edges of your mat. And then kind of creep your hands towards the front edge of your mat to help draw the shoulder blades down the back. Do keep your gaze to the ceiling. Feel your breath. And then lower the hips to the mat. Knees together, feet wide. So just taking a moment with a neutral pelvis before drawing the knees into the chest. I know that's often a desire right after a back bend, but just give your spine a little space here, a little transition. Okay, now draw your knees into your chest if you like. You can rock a little side to side. And then roll to one side. Come on up for a moment. You're going to locate your bolster and your blanket, right? Or your blankets that are functioning as bolsters. Bring them to the back edge of your mat. And before you come down into this, I really encourage you just to notice my alignment. I'll show you my profile before you come into it because that's going to make a big difference. You'll have your blocks on the back of your mat, so you can slide them underneath your knees. And you're going to come to support your upper spine and your head with your bolster. And then take Your towel, rolled up towel, it's going to become a neck roll. And the back of your skull is touching the bottom blanket or bolster. The neck roll is creating space in your neck. So this is a really nice thing to do to counter the rounding that we all are doing now, looking at our computers. So the head still moving back, but having this space um, under the upper spine, the neck rather, cervical spine. That's hopefully going to feel quite nice for you. Again, the blocks are underneath the knees, the hands just kind of ooze off the mat. And then finding your relaxation pose, Shavasana. Oh, and just a reminder, your butt is not on the bolster. Your butt is actually on the mat. So once you arrive, with your mind's eye, scan through your body and just notice anywhere you might still be holding yourself away from the floor. Accept the support underneath you. Soft belly, soft face, soft glutes. Relaxation. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana a little longer, please do. If you need to continue with the rest of your day, we are very close to time, so start to move your fingers and toes. And then take a nice big morning stretch. And slowly rolling to one side. And using your arms to bring yourself to a comfortable seat. We'll meet with our palms together in front of our heart. And just feeling the length of your spine. Sitting nice and tall. And shoulders back, proud of your heart. If you'd like to dedicate your practice to someone special, visualize them now. And we'll send out this goodness on an exhale. Big breath in. Send it out. See them feeling spacious, relaxed, open, standing tall. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste.